Help. Help, my cat is attacking my stream setup. We'll make a spot. Oh no. Well, I guess we'll just act like we're gonna do what we're gonna do and maybe she'll settle down and pick somewhere to sit. Maybe she will. Hello everyone. I hope you're doing well. It's Sunday. Let's enjoy some tea that hopefully my cat won't destroy. I see her. She's looking. And we will work on stuff. I'm gonna take that out of the way so she doesn't sit on it. Look at this! We got lighting! Lighting! We're really fancying it up here, folks. High production value today. Hopefully she'll decide where she wants to sit. It's okay. Come here. Ow! No, don't attack me. No. She's gonna be like that. That's bad. A cat should not be attacking me. That would be quite bad. But we're making progress on the knitting. There's gonna be like a cowl tube thing. I was hoping it would be a little wider, but we ran out of this yarn, which is fine. It was meant to be a stash buster. We wanted to get through it. But I am finishing up to how much of that yarn that I have, and I already have it joined in on the rest of this because I did very lazy color swapping. Extremely lazy, some might say. And that's kind of where we're at. I've got like a crazy lighting setup, and I hope that it is clear enough for everyone. We got key lights, we got backlights, we got it all. We got it all. Hey BJ, what's up? How's it going? How are you doing today? James, good afternoon. How are you? We're just chatting today, knitting. Look at this, we got production value, we got a nice color combo going on. Sometimes the cat may sit here if she feels inclined. So far she's decided to attack my entire setup and rub her face against all of my lights and all of my camera settings. It's fun. It's fun. Recording in flush space is so fun. Amour Noir, hello. Good afternoon. I'm doing okay. We had a cake party yesterday. So there's a bakery, one of those like French Korean bakeries in my town. And I went and ordered some of the fancy cakes. So we had some friends over. We played some Three Dragon Ante, which is a surprisingly fun card game. I kicked butt. And now I am forcing myself to finish one of my 35 bajillion knitting projects. So I figure, you know, sometimes you gotta do stuff for you. While we may be hardcore dungeon delvers and gamers on the stream, sometimes we also want to listen to some relaxing music and knit, you know? And I hope the music's not too loud. Cute Carla, hello! Good morning. How are you today? I'm having a good time. My cat, so far, has not only tried to swipe at everything I've set up for stream, but also tried to attack my hand under my desk. Come on, come on. I will say there's a probably like a 15% dex debuff on knitting with gloves on, but we don't give this away for free. It's a outpost regulation. We gotta wear gloves. It's important. Cat aggro is maxed. Yeah, she's ready. She's ready to tank pull everyone. Hey, knitting! Let's go! I fully encourage everybody to talk about what they're working on. I'm trying to adjust the lighting a little bit because it's a little high contrast, but whatever. It's fine. I'm doing the best I can, okay? I honestly could use a third key light, but maybe that's too much. Sexy hot. Yeah. Grandma hours. We be knitting and being supportive here. What's up? Aqwah. Yes. Life is too short to not pursue your hobbies. Because, who knows, maybe there's a space where someone wants a VTuber that will hyperfixate on a dungeon delving game for the entire week of streams and off of stream and during their D&D session to grind out ranked, sweaty, high roller matches, but also who has love in their heart and will knit a lovely scarf for a friend. You know? Humans contain multitudes, and that's the same for military-generated homunculi like myself. Okay? It's the same. Three Dragon Ante is fun. There's like the actual card game for it that they made, which has been pretty fun. So we play that on occasion. Why do you need gloves? Because I have gloves on. See? I got you can see some of my glove. It's just a habit. Also, it is kind of nice. They're kind of compressive. I should really tailor them because these are new. I gotta tailor them to fit better because the thumb ain't quite right. Yeah, it's just VTuber tradition, you know? We gotta fit the lore in. I thought I was really smart because I was getting the set dressing to match my setup and rig. I went to Joann's because it turns out Joann's is going out of business even on the far side of the asteroid. You know, they still have those going out of business sale, and somehow the grandmas still find a way to get out here and like fight over all the materials. We could not find any sewing machine needles. They did not exist. My voice is a little craggly today because I did a lot of socialization yesterday. Oh man, it's been a weekend. Yeah, we did a stream Friday, and then I did party games with some friends for their birthday, which was like Duck Duck Goose and some Gartic. And then Saturday, we had our little cake party. We had some cake and played card games. And yeah, it's good. It's a good time. But if anyone is working on a knitting project, tell me about your project. What are you working on? What you got? We got this was essentially, I would like to say it's my first foray into color work. It's not. This isn't really color work. I'm just kind of cheating the system. Because I just tied all my yarn together and let the seams be what they be. But it is my first foray into knitting in the round, which I was really afraid of at first. I thought it was going to be super scary, but actually it's really easy. It's really easy. You just keep going. You don't flip your work. So I can see why a lot of people like it. Yeah, I'm definitely like 50% slower with the current setup, but that's fine. I'm also probably functioning slow because I was watching TV shows last night and I was working on this too, and I got a lot done, but I was like really putting in the work. A quest line that involves 3 side quests, a big dungeon. You should get a memory crystal for a rich dwarf. Ooh, that sounds fun. I don't have to figure out what I'm doing for my next session because I'm playing in a campaign for D&D right now and I'm running a D&D session. And I'm kind of using a campaign that the player fell through. It didn't work out. And I'm kind of deciding how I want to adjust it. He had a knitting machine, but it failed. Oh no! I'd imagine that would be the case of like one of the hooks getting broken or something like that. I mean, if you want to learn how to knit, I would say like knitting machines are great because they're fast, right? But I feel like there is something to be gained in like the catharsis of hand knitting. There's something nice about it. It is certainly much slower. You can do more detailed things though. So you can do like lace work and stuff like that, which is what I am getting into when I have meetings at work. What I'll do is I'll try new things on like test swatches and I'll listen to the meeting because I do better when I'm doing something with my hands. And I will certainly, I'm testing out like a lace bandana right now. And it's going well. Mostly it's more so at this point practices and increases and decreases and adding stitches, which I have kind of learned my preference for making one right and left to add a gap because I realized it was like inconsistent on one side because they were like, oh, you should twist the stitch. And I was like, oh yeah, because I looked at two separate guys for make one left and make one right, which was a mistake. And yes, twisting the stitch is good if you don't want a gap. But in this instance, I did want a gap because it was part of the like design to have a little like hole in the knitting to look a little more lacy. And then I've got my Christmas mug. It is one of the biggest mugs I own with milk tea in it. Iced milk tea. Because now that I have a big teapot, I've been making a big pot of tea. And then any leftovers I just put in an iced tea pitcher and I make into milk tea. They're very efficient. It's so beautiful. Nah. I mean, it's consistent. And that's because it's two basic stitches. It's literally just knit, purl, knit, purl. It's just switching between the two most basic stitches. So practice is everything. But you get into a flow with it. And also like the first rows that are a little sloppier, they kind of curl up. So you can see them curled up down here. Yeah, see? And I'll give you the cheat hacks. Which is that because I'm knitting something purple, I have yellow, which is a complementary color, yellow and orange in the background. These serve no function other than color, and it makes this look much more ingrained in what we're filming here. Little color theory magic for everyone. But as you can see, this is the result of very lazy color work, very lazy, because I just tied the stitches together. Like if you see, here's the part where here's the part where it's not so pretty. There's the back side where I've been joining things in. I have to tie that up. It's a little messy. It's a little messy here. A little messier on the back side, but hopefully, blocking will fix that, right? Right? And this has taken me ages. I think I've been working, no, I know how long I've been working on this. I've been working on this interspersed since Christmas. So this is probably 6 months of work that I am almost getting towards the end on. This has not been done in one stream today. Oh my goodness, no. This has actually been started since before I started knitting. And then I was like, I have too many projects going on right now and too many things that I want to do and I need more time to knit, but I gotta stream. And then I was like, wait, why am I like hiding the fact that I knit? Because I talk about it all the time on stream. I should just do it on stream. Because what the heck? These are just chatting streams anyway. For the most part. I'm a yapper. I don't stop talking. So, much happier doing it. I'm so tired. I stayed up too late this weekend and, sometimes you socialize with a lot of people and it's very fun. But for me, it is like, it's not just like my social battery's out, it is physically exhausting. There's certainly a point where like we were playing, Abiotic the other night, because we had missed our normal day. And I was like, I gotta go, guys. I can't listen to people talk anymore. And like even the game sounds were too loud. I was just like, I'm gonna go listen to some music and chill. That's good though. Important to take time to shut off. And, you know, if socializing is a lot, it's important to take time to like reset. So I'm probably gonna take it easy for like the rest of the week and the weekend. And not do social things with a lot of people talking. And like streaming is a way for me to socialize without getting like overwhelmed by too much sound going on, because that's a big thing. Like if there's too many people in a room talking at once, my brain just fries. It like short circuits. I can't do it. So chat is much easier for me to read. So I'm very grateful because you guys help fill my social battery without exhausting myself. Are there any, Carla, are there any projects that you're working on that you are excited about currently, or anything you want to work on in the future? I tend to take my knitting in steps, so every project I do, I want to kind of like one-up it and try to learn something new. So I think my next project is mostly increases and decreases. And I think my project after that, after that, I'm doing blankets in like a seersucker pattern for after this one to be completed. So we may see that in the upcoming streams that we do knitting streams for. So that may be a future project, because, well, it's not a future, it's a to-do, because I've had it started and I told my friend I was going to make it for them. And it goes pretty fast because it's a large blanket, but because it's like the comically oversized material. I think I had it not this knitting stream, but 2 knitting streams ago. It was up. I may be also losing my voice just a little bit, but that's okay. And now that we've got like our lighting fairly set, I will be very terrified too, but I'm going to try and spray my Gunpla with like a base coat. So what I'm going to do is like set them up and like pre-base all of the still unclipped things, I think. I mean, I guess it would make more sense to spray them while they're... I don't know if I have enough sticks to hold up the parts unclipped. Or clipped from the base. I don't know. Gunpla painting scares me, but I really want to do it. Hands! Hi! Here you go. Here's a heart. Mr. Candyman! Oh, I kicked the light. I kicked it. Ruined it! Ruined it. Oh wait, we're on we're switching. We're on our easier pattern. We're on the we finished all of this light purple yarn. We've done it. What are we making? It's gonna be it's supposed to be a cowl scarf thing. So this is a full tube essentially. It's very twisted because this is technically longer than the tube that it's on. So these are connected via a string through all of it. If you can see some of the orange there, that's the string. And we're essentially adding width to it. And it was supposed to be like a cowl that goes over your head. We'll see how long it actually gets, because the goal was to use 2 of these balls of yarn in the project. It was a stash buster. And I will see exactly how much of that actually gets done. Because it may not be quite wide enough to put over your head, but it may be a pretty good scarf for the winter. And this is for a friend of mine. I kind of wish I had done a more elegant pattern. It's a little high contrast for me, but this is the colors. I let them pick their colors, so these were the colors they recommended, or they wanted to do. So I'm rolling with it. I'm trusting them. Ah! I gotta pull my gloves down. I'm pulling them off. Whee! How's your weekend going? How's everyone doing? Scarf too? So you see, Reveled, the investment we made in these fabrics. Do you understand what I meant about the color? I was explaining color theory to Reveled. And Reveled was like, I don't understand why you need yellow-orange fabrics. Do you understand now? Do you see the picture? Do you see? It feels so unified and nice. Whereas, like, if I didn't have this, this would just kind of look like maybe I was knitting on paper towels. I mean, no, I guess it still technically has one hole. It still would if it was bent. I feel like it still would. If you bent a straw, it still technically has one hole. I don't know, because it's the same opening. Open and exit. But if it's a cylinder... Ha! My brain hurts. That's too advanced, Mr. Candyman. We're not here for that advanced thinking. We're on the easy mode of knitting. These are basic knit stitches here, friends. So basic knit stitch, right? I've got... Ignore this. Act like there's nothing on here, because this would be how you do it. You have your cast on row, which is just loops around it, right? Or your working row. You have your yarn, that's your working yarn, in the back. Or in this case, it might be attached to here if it's your starting row. But it's in the back of your project, right? So it's behind my needles. And I'm pulling it back with these fingers. And what I'm doing, and I'm just kind of like pulling it up so that the tension is a little better, is I put the needle through on this front side. So the needle goes through the loop, through the loop, through the loop. And the yarn, we're popping the yarn over. So essentially adding it in. So the yarn is over on this right needle, pulling it through, and we're pushing it off. And that's a basic knit stitch. So that is how you knit. The purls, as they call them, this pattern that doesn't make like a V in the material, that's just the opposite. So instead of going through, you have your yarn in the front of the material and you push your needle from the back to the front. And if you look on the other side, it makes a knit stitch. So it's literally just the opposite. And everything else in knitting, everything, almost everything else, 95% of everything else, is going to be a combination of knits and purls. And the contrast between this flat pattern and this bumpy pattern are what make your patterns in knitting and make those designs. Ta-da! And for trivia, if you have a pattern that goes just these V's, so you might have sorry, my voice is suffering. But you might have socks, for example. If you look at your socks, they probably have this pattern of the V's. You see? They're little like rows of V's with a bar in between them. If I really pull it apart, we'll see if it'll focus on it. We have these bars and they're kind of like, almost like if you think of drawing braids, that's what they look like. And that is called stockinette stitch because it's used for stockings and socks. Yeah, that's how that works. And if you have kind of like one of these, and then if you have knit and purls and rows, it's called a garter stitch. Essentially what you're doing if you're knitting in flat and you're flipping your project, you're literally just knitting the whole way around, but because you're flipping your project, it's alternating between knits and purls on one side. Yeah. I personally find knitting with metal needles to be easier because I can like slip my project off a little easier. But I'm also quite tight with my knitting, which is also a very bad habit with crochet, and that's why I was never really good at crochet, because I'm very tight when I pull my yarn tension. And it's not too much of a problem until you get into reducing your stitches, where I might pull 2 of these loops up and knit them together with one add-on. So instead of just 1 loop I'm pulling, it would be 2 here, and that essentially reduces your total stitch count, and it would help. Like, in theory, that's how you make a triangle. You can either start small and increase, or start big and decrease by combining your stitches. Yeah, so that would be what that would look like. And if you knit very tight, it gets very difficult to get a knitting needle through these tiny, tiny loops when you need to combine a bunch of loops. Well, by that theory, does a donut technically not have any holes? A donut is just a fully connected tube with no stops, so a donut has no holes. Mind blown. Oh, Lulu's coming back in for more, I think. Maybe. She might be coming by to attack. One thing I have learned is sometimes if I am holding my needles too tight, my muscle here gets very tight. So I try not to not to do that because it could cause larger problems. So when I knit, I try to like, where's my working yarn? There we go. Be gone. You see the yarn? It's not a pretty ball of yarn anymore. It's just like it's trying its best. It just gets sadder and sadder as it goes. Eventually, like, it's the most motivating thing, right? You get your ball of yarn down to like the weird forced structured part from when they wound it, and it looks so sad that you're like, I gotta put this ball of yarn out of its misery. Otherwise, it's just gonna get tangled. We give our balls of yarn a new home in a full finished piece. These gloves are sparkly as heck under the lighting. I was hoping they'd be matte, but it's fine. So we had a plate up run the other day where we kind of just did it on a whim, but by some miracle all of the cards we got in plate up, and for those that don't play that game. It's essentially like a cooking simulation game where you cook the food in like simple steps. You have one person cook the food and you serve it to the customers, you clean up the dishes, and you get money for it, right? And if the customers are waiting too long, you fail. And it gets more complicated as you go. So every couple of levels you get a new card, which means you have to choose between two options to add something to the process. And it could be something that like gives you less customers but adds another dish, or adds a starter or a side that you have to cook, or customers are more impatient, or they make more messes or something like that. So we lucked out though, and we were running a coffee shop, which is very simple. There's no dishes in a coffee shop, but the profit is really, really low. So you have to really like get as much money as you can. And we got it to the point where by the end of the run, day 15, we still only serve coffee. We have 2 coffee machines now. We still only serve coffee. And essentially multiple times throughout the day, I just go to the bookings desk, which can, you know, for better or for worse, call extra customers in than the normal like set amount for the day. And you get extra money for it. Well, pretty much what I would do is I would just go in and slam as many of those as I could before we got a line. And then once we got a line, I'd go help serve. And then I'd go back and do it again once we got through the line. And we were getting like 4 times the value of the coffee from just the bookings desk extras. We've cheated the system. So now we have that as a franchise, and that's going to be interesting to go through. And we somehow didn't add another recipe to this. It was essentially get mostly all that like customers cause messes, or messes are a problem. But we also got the option to choose like restaurant decorations, which helps with certain things. And one of the options is if you do formal, customers don't make messes. And yeah, we chose formal. So look, at all those mess debuffs aren't going to be a problem now. Now, I did just realize in my head when describing this that if we go to a franchise after this and we start with this setup, we will now have a bunch of cards where customers make messes, but no decorations stopping the customers from making messes. So this could be disastrous if we continue another game with this. We'll see how it goes. And franchising is essentially after you make it to day 15 on a run, you can then choose to franchise it, which means you can kind of... It's like New Game Plus almost. You can start the same thing again, but you have all the stuff you had at the end. So all the extra recipes, all the extra cards, you choose at least 5 of them to take with you to your franchise. And then you can start up and choose to start with certain, like a set of tools or countertops that you maybe didn't have during that one. You might have to add an extra recipe depending on the difficulty. And you can choose a different setting. And it's kind of a way to like extend that. Because once you get past day 15 in a normal run, you go into overtime, which just gets increasingly difficult, and it's kind of like a sudden death. So it really pushes you to see how far you can go. I don't think we've really gotten past overtime day 5, but I want to shoot for 10 because I think there's an achievement there, which would be pretty nice. Yeah. Other good news, I did hit Voyager in my rank in Dark and Darker. I think I'm Voyager 2 now. I started running the artifact quality lobbies because now it's not gear score, it's rarity. And I mostly just run those usually to crypts, and then I get out. But there are a couple where, you know, if I'm not able to get so much loot because someone's trying to chase me down, I just run down to the next level. Like, I full rat mode it. I would like to get to Demigod only ratting. I want to get to Demigod only ratting. That's the goal. We're just gonna be as quiet as a mouse and sneak and get out with our giant explosion sorcerer spells. They'll never hear us coming. They won't even know we were there, says all the flaming skeleton bodies behind me. Mostly, the plan is, because I am very loud as a class, is to, my plan so far is to identify all of my exit points and clear the room strategically so that I have an exit point nearby that I can run to as soon as I see another player. And like, my goal is I try not to second guess myself. If I see another player, I just go to the exit, whether that's a portal down or a portal up, that's fine. And then or a portal out, that's fine. And then through that, I also assess the risk, because if I'm a couple of rooms away from the exit, I'll make sure I clear my way to the exit and clear that room first, rather than clearing the room I'm in. That's something I learned, because people will run into you as they're going through and clearing rooms, and if you have to run 3 rooms to the next exit, you can't escape quickly enough. Most people will catch up with you through some reason or another, probably through having to open doors, but yeah, it's rough. It's rough. I did have one instance where I'm not sure if it was a bug or someone hacking, but someone was literally riding the nightmare sub-boss worm, and they aggroed it and they just rode it around the map. I don't know how or what they were doing, but they were like chasing me around the map with this thing. And I'm like, are you shitting me? Are you serious? And I was so mad because I escaped them for so long, and I was like, maybe I'm okay, and I didn't go through the portal, and then I died because they chased me down again. I was so mad. So I've learned my lesson, which is that, nothing... It's always better to escape alive as a coward than to die to someone chasing you down that's determined to murder you in a PvP game. I've fully embraced my cower sorcerer modes. There's a reason why my first and main character is called Tactical Disengage, because I run away from everything, and that's okay. I did have a really poggers moment where I was in D&D, and I was talking to the DM, but I was running a High Rollers fetch during D&D. Which is such a great idea, and I definitely didn't die ever during this. I died a lot, but I found another player that was, I think, a fighter, and I think they were new or something, but they were having a really hard time with what they were fighting, and they were struggling, and they were being chased by like a bunch of nightmare level mobs, which is like the hardest level enemy in the game. And I'm just there, and I'm like doing the squat of peace because they did it, and I just helped them clear up the mobs, and I put a little campfire down for them, and we're in like the highest rarity lobby, and we're just chilling, and I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. I have hope in humanity that people can be kind in a PvP game. It's about the friends you make along the way. And it's like stuff like that, or like one of the runs, I think this was on stream one of the days that I played, that a rogue was chasing me. And a bard, like, we had the squad of peace, and the bard did that, and I ran to go to the red just to be safe, and there was a rogue waiting in the red to kill people. So like waiting in the exit portal to stab people, and I hate that. I hate that so much. It's so mean. Which is also tip number 2 for high roller ratting. Literally always have an attack prepped when you're running down the portal. Always, because it'll dissuade anybody. They'll be like, oh shit, I'm in a small exit. It'll either force them down the portal with you, or it'll get you some time to get down it. So that's fun. But yeah, he started stabbing me, and the bard just like body blocked and came in and was like, how dare you? Just long enough for him to get forced out and me to go down. I was like, oh, sweetie. And then he killed me in the next round because the rogue was very mad. How dare. You do still get those instances where, like, if you go down a red and you don't wait long enough, there's a chance that other player is just gonna be down in the next lobby with you. It's less so now that there's continuous dungeons, which is pretty nice. So like you get people from different lobbies filling, but it's certainly a challenge when you've got someone hunting you down and they're like, I know where you are. I will find you and I will kill you. I have certainly had my share of I will get revenge and trying to hunt someone down, and sometimes it works out, but usually it doesn't. Kim, hello! How are you today? Welcome back. Hope you're having a good day. We're just hanging out, knitting today, chatting and having a good time, having a good time. I need some strong allergy meds. I'm very congested today. I will take some allergy meds later. I just played Call of Duty one day, doing a free-for-all. You're the last guy killed. The winner tried to do a 360 no-scope, but then he scoped out of habit. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, it's always hard to get over muscle memory. I'm so happy I finally learned like the sorcerer muscle memory, because Bard is mouse DDR. Sorcerer is also mouse DDR. Like, I'm playing the DDR classes for Dark and Darker, where essentially you have to like quickly swap between your spells and then press something to combine them and then know when to shoot them and know when to prep them and get the timing right, and it feels very rhythm game-esque. I don't know. I have shamed my ancestors. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. That's me with party friendly fire hits in Dark and Darker. I hit that all the time. Do I play on mobile? Do you mean Dark and Darker mobile? I do not play Dark and Darker mobile. Mostly because I don't really play that many mobile games. Not on my phone that much. But, yeah. I'm usually at home. So I play on my computer. Or if I'm not home, I'm probably bringing my Switch. Oh, come on, come on. I'm getting caught on my glove. Hey, Kim. Can you type link in chat? Or type potato in chat to prove you're not a bot. Thank you. Because we've already had this conversation. We've been there. Come on. Type potato. Type potato. Yay! Okay, thank you. I just had to be cautious. I will have to pass, Kim. Thank you. But mobile games just aren't for me. I'm not a big fan of the controls. I played Infinity Nikki on mobile for a little while, but I find that I can't take the screen and controls for long. It's not for me. Oh, there's a video that is it's a guy that makes like songs of dating app conversations, And one of them is essentially a guy who begs a dating chatbot a dating chatbot to say potato to prove they're not a bot. It's kind of like the write your name on there, though I don't know that it's actually as effective these days with the AI generated, because I think ChatGPT could be able to reply in response. It would just be delayed. You're all bots. I'm flipping it on you. It's okay. I'll talk to the robots. No, I believe you're real people. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Yeah, if you're a bot in chat, you gotta tell me, right? It's like saying you're a cop, right? Right? Oh, it's kind of this like malaise at the prevalence of bots on the internet. You know, a certain irony at the distress of it. Oh, AI can absolutely watch videos. Absolutely can. Didn't you know there's a whole problem with there's a whole problem recently with YouTube, because YouTube and other companies were training their AI off of the videos. Arguably, it started with video transcripts, but it's a hand reveal. I mean, yeah, the hands have been here. We've done some knitting streams. Da, 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 da. I never cared much about Kingdom Hearts lore, but this theme is always very good. Yeah, there's a chance this video is gonna go bleh. I just wanted some chill time. I'm willing to do it for you guys. Willing to risky bisky. I tried to pick mostly like game music though, which can be okay, it cannot be. You remind me of someone. Somebody that I used to know. But you didn't have to cut me off. Are you gonna say I remind you of the Blue Man Group because my hands are blue? They're gloves. Da-dum-choo. I feel like the Blue Man Group jokes are gonna go so far to the wayside because not many people know about the Blue Man Group anymore. Which we're making a scarf cowl thing. Billy, welcome. So we're making like a scarf cowl thing. We're knitting in the round, which means it's a tube. It's a continuous tube, and we're essentially just making it wider. And we got about this much width, this much, however this much is. The hope was that it was going to be like something you can put over your head, but I'm only using about two 100-gram balls of wool that I have. And I am almost at the end. I finished one, so we're just gonna be doing purple from here out. We'll see how that looks, and we'll probably finish it. I think maybe we'll get another like inch or two out of it. Purple. I can't claim much about the color. My friend picked them out. because I had a bunch of balls of yarn that were purple and green, and I was like, pick your colors, because I gotta use them. I think it's coming along well. This was like my first in the round project, and it's been taking forever because it's very thin yarn. So I've learned my lesson. I tend to prefer to work with fingering weight yarn because I feel like I can wrap it around my finger and keep the tension well. But the progress is very, 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 very slow because it is thin yarn. Do you have any projects you're currently working on? Do you knit or crochet yourself? I have tried crochet, but the most I've ever made in crochet is like one really, 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 really long chain string. I have trouble keeping consistent tension with crochet, and I've seen people use like cards and stuff for tensioning, but I don't really like that. I don't know. It feels weird to me. It doesn't feel right in my hands. So I was never able to do that. But knitting was something I was always told, like, oh, you won't do knitting. Knitting won't work for you because I'm not good with numbers. It was just true. I do lose track of numbers and have a little number dyslexia going on. But usually if I have a piece of paper and I can write down what I'm doing, it's a little easier. Which YouTubers do I watch? I don't know. These days, I really don't watch all that much YouTube. Because I make a lot of content myself. I watch Game Changers and like Dropout TV. YouTube wise, I don't know. And I think it's maybe part of the problem with shorts is that like you don't really, I watch a lot of shorts, but I don't, if I had to name like a single shorts person I follow, there's not all that many. Wow, yeah, I'm really having a hard time here. Yeah, I usually just watch like based on the video if I'm interested in it. Inoki, welcome in. Thank you. It's gonna be a cowl scarf, infinity scarf type thing, and it's just alternating knit and purl rows, so that it creates like this ridged pattern, and it should like fold over itself. It's gonna be interesting to see because we're out of this light purple, so I'm just finishing up this ball as much as I can. Hair physics. Yeah, we got some hair physics going on. We do. We do. That's unique. I mean, yeah. I think the color contrast makes it seem much stronger. I think it was a free pattern I looked up. Let me see. It was, I think it's called like Boom Slag? Yeah, I should have the pattern here. It's a free pattern, so you should be able to find it if you Google it. There's a knitting pattern called a Boom Slag. B-O-O-M-S-L-A. Oh, slang. S-L-A-N-G. So it's essentially a tube. Yeah, it's a tube. I see how they did it. I don't know if I did the color change correct. I just kind of tied the yarn together. I'm reading the instructions now. Whoops. And kicking my light. Oh, that's fine. Ah, sleepy. We're at the yards. A Sneed. So many Sneeds. I forgot the word Sneed existed until that one, like, writer on Shorts, whose name I can't remember. See, this is the problem. This is the problem with Shorts. I'm having some tea. Milk tea. They got a Thneed. They started using it. Which honestly, like, I'm ideally working on like a bandana that if I think I do it correctly, I'll just extend it instead of having it get to width. It will go longer and it can be a hairband. So that's the goal. This is gonna be like a scarf cowl thing. This is just one big tube. One big tube. We're just making it longer now. So it's made out of wool. And it's a little bit rough wool. And I feel like I'm getting a little picky about the texture of it because I've been working on it for so long. But I also feel like because I've been working on it for so long, the wool's kind of been beat up by the weather and dust and stuff. So I am going to give it a good wash. And I'm trying to remember, I feel like because wool is a natural fiber, it's kind of like hair, right? So I think I might want to wash this with shampoo and then condition it, like soak it in some conditioner. And I think that will be better than like washing it with normal detergent. Maybe? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really done a wool project yet. I mostly used acrylic yarn. I remember the first time I watched your stream. I was watching a stream and watching a stream. I was probably saying something really silly. Probably. Hey Warrior, welcome back. How are you doing today? How's your day? Hope you're doing well. Are you doing something you enjoy this Sunday? I think Sunday, even if you aren't religious and you don't go to church, Sunday is a very good day if you work, your average work week, or you have to go to school, you have the weekends off. It's a great day to take time to do something for yourself because usually there's not too much going on Sundays. People aren't trying to rush out and about, and it's a good time. I do remember, I think we were playing Elden Ring. And Kim was asking, it was either Elden Ring or a Fortnite day. And Kim was asking about a mobile game. Indeed. Oh. Okay, why are you not charging? I'm back. I broke a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Too much socializing. No thoughts, no brain cells left. I almost decided to do a boss fight in Dark and Darker in High Roller. Well, no, I did decide I was gonna try and fight Lich. And then the one map I brought in my thing I could have sold for 1.4k. Are there plans to do another 24-hour stream? I don't think so. And that is simply because the last one was torturous, and I'm getting too old for this. Getting too old. I like fried my brain. I mean, arguably we got the great clip of me screaming at someone in Resident Evil for their stupid logic, but it was painful. It was certainly painful. I would say maybe we could set... I don't think I'll do it for the stream anniversary anymore, for like a birthday stream, but I won't say no to ever doing it again, because I do, you know, it's a celebration of sorts. I think if we hit 1K subs on YouTube, I think I might do a 24-hour stream, because we're at 767 right now, I believe. And we're growing a little bit. I do want to start putting out shorts again. Now I'm afraid to say 1K because that's very achievable. That's very achievable for us, actually. We've been doing quite well. But yeah, at 1K, I think if not a 24-hour, I might consider a 12-hour. That's much more doable for me. 24 is brutal, and I usually have to take some time off of work for that. But I would consider a 12. So let's say 12-hour stream to celebrate 1K subs on YouTube. Yeah, that seems good. Yeah, like 16 or 12. Yeah, because usually every time I have done like a full 24-hour stream, and I think I had a slight emotional breakdown at like 4 a.m. But this person with over 2 million subs, unfortunately, that would be great. That'd be fantastic. It's not me. That'd be lovely, but you know, I'm not playing the game that well. I'm open about that. I am not an efficient YouTuber. I make content at the pace that I can make content at, and usually it's pretty chill content too. I'm just chatting, so that's not super like you're not gonna get home from work and be like, oh my god, I gotta go watch the Commander Aqwah VOD. I would be honored if people are like that. Like, I'd be honored, but I don't personally think I'm that great of a concise storyteller. And that's partially like I have a lot of passions and things that I want to do, and YouTube is a way for me to do them and share them with the world, and it's not always conducive to having like a singular style of video that people come back to, you know? But sometimes it's worth pursuing the things you're interested in, even if it's not going to get you the most notoriety or efficiency. Because it keeps you refreshed and motivated, you know? I could go really hard on Dark and Darker and make my whole identity Dark and Darker, but I don't want to because of a lot of reasons. Some of it being the community, but but it's also just like, it's a game where people talk about the meta a lot, and I don't want to talk about the meta a lot. And like, at the end of the day, I enjoy playing the game. I don't necessarily have great grandiose takes on the development of the game, which is what content creation eventually turns into for gaming. I think we've had this conversation before about how like content creators that focus on a single community or make their profit off of a single community, especially like this happened with Final Fantasy a lot, when that community explodes and gets popular and they get consistent views, when those views start going down, the only thing they end up trying to bring new people in with is like drama videos or rant videos, and I really want to avoid that. I don't like being someone to complain about things, or, you know, I have my problems with the way that games are developed, but I don't need the developer to address my problem specifically, you know? Like, I'm sure they'll get to it. There are other things that are more important. That's my hot take. It's like, micro-focusing on one thing. So that's, yeah, my hot takes are about content creation. But that's very meta. We need more slow content creators, you know? Bring back the Minecraft Let's Play. I say to myself. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by when I play games. That's all good. This is a chill stream. It's gonna be a little more down to earth. Hanging out. Having a good time. But I feel very refreshed after taking time aside to just like do something I want to do. Regardless of, however, like I would probably still try to do knitting streams even if no one came to chat, but that's because I like knitting. It's fun. So that's my advice. Just do what you're passionate about. It makes it from an old grandmother who's been around the scene for a while and has been doing this for a while and is certainly not the most effective content creator. Yes. It is so important to do things that are for you and that make you happy and that you don't necessarily feel the pressure of success under, because that makes the whole process easier. It helps you keep your motivation to do the other things that maybe are more integrated with what is currently popular or what progresses your content forward more. If you take time to do things that just make you happy, because sometimes it's too stressful if you're just constantly chasing that bag, you know? You gotta take time out. Dun, 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 dun. Sometimes you get into a good rhythm when you're knitting, and it's just like, yeah. And I had a couple of stitches there that were perfect. And then I lost it. Curses. That's fine though. Oh, we're nowhere near doing a full round yet. Wow. Okay. Haha. I thought we were farther along on the row. Oh well. The other downside is when you do wide projects like this, a single row takes so long. I have a blanket I'm working on that is worsted weight. So it's kind of like your stereotypical medium yarn weight. And it's supposed to be a king size blanket. So it's like 90 centimeters wide. So literally one row. I don't think I can finish in like one sitting of work. Usually if I'm knitting, I knit for about an hour at a time. Sometimes I'll get like a really long session where I get like a couple of hours in, but usually I need a break. I gotta give my hands a break or something, because I don't want to hurt them and I want to treat them right. And also my brain just needs something different to do. That is reminding me that I should try and get some time aside to play Void Crew with the rats. I didn't check what they were doing last weekend, or this weekend, but I was pretty burnt out on Saturday, so. I don't know if it's good to have friends, right? I think aspiring to have a friend of a certain station may not be good for your mental health in the long run, because I would ask you to focus on yourself. What do you want to do with your life, and what makes you happy? And if you want to be friends with someone that makes content and makes YouTube videos, is that because you would like to also make YouTube videos? And if that's the case, do it. They don't have to be the same quality or style or level. Do what makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, even if you don't have the time to like make your beautiful work of art as perfect as you envision it, putting something out into the world is wildly more important. And being consistent in doing that is more important than never showing anyone your work. It's like if an author writes a book and is like, oh, I'm writing on my book, I'm working on my book. Oh no, my battery's dying. My book's gonna be perfect. And then they never show it to anyone and they never get it published. What was the point? Why did you spend all your time doing that? Especially if you're seeking, like, the notoriety from it. I don't know. I don't know. Make good art. That's what I always encourage people to do. And that doesn't mean make art that is perfect. Make good art. Make art that makes you happy. Good luck, Kim. Have a good day. We wish our warriors the greatest luck going into battle, and safe journeys on their way. I do find that friendships formed over shared passions and shared interests, when you like doing the same thing, are hugely more rewarding than being friends with someone because they're in the same place or they're in a place where you want to be. Even if you don't chat every day, if you share the same interests, like you're friends with other artists because you make art, you're going to learn and grow so much from just being around them and asking them about their work and sharing your knowledge together than trying to be like friends with the most famous artists who, you know, you may get the cred of talking to them, but they're maybe not sharing their information and their worries with you. It's just about getting better emotional support for what you might want and what you might need. And it's a more realistic friendship. But I particularly cherish my friends that I've formed over my hobbies, because, you know, it's like a shared experience. My friends that do fiber arts, I love chatting with them about it. And asking how their projects are going, because, you know, maybe I've gone through something or struggled with something too, or I have better advice for someone who wants to get into knitting, who does crochet, or someone who does crochet might have advice on how I can incorporate that into my knitting. So it's always very helpful there. With art too, I find that even if I'm not the best of friends with someone, being able to talk about our interests and things are good. I have an interesting conversation with a friend recently where we were essentially just talking about how our knowledge of human anatomy and bones is way more detailed than the average person's, because we've had to draw a lot of skeletons and bones. And like, to be able to denote the differences between certain bones is just like, yeah, that's a little weird in hindsight, but it's funny and it's helpful. Alright, I think we may have to wrap up soon because it looks like my tracking camera is not charging properly, so I'll have to go and fix that. See why that's not doing that. I think it's probably because the screen brightness is too high. That's why I've been freezing a little bit. We can get a little bit more out of this though. A little more done. A little more progress. Always helpful. So it's a short one today. I should be back on Tuesday. I do think the Tuesday, Friday, Sunday schedule is working out pretty well for me with the new work schedule. So Tuesday, expect me probably around 5:36. If I can do earlier, I tend to try to, because I gotta get up so early now. So early. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm shooting for. I'm gonna be trying to work on art. I have so much stuff just like on deck that I want to finish, but there's so many things that I have to do and there's never enough time. Eventually, instead of stressing about there never being enough time, I just need to pick something and work on it, because saying you have too much to do and then never working on anything is worse. So usually I just try to pick a couple of projects and chunk through them. But we'll see what I pick this week. I will pick something that I have started and not finished and work on it and try to get it done. That is the goal. That is my out of stream goal for this week. Pick something, work on it. Whether that's a cover song that I have half done or art that I have started and not finished, we will work on it, or my rig work. So that's a promise. That is the goal. This is very near themed music. Okay. Alright. I mean, we got like a row done. It's not too much, but progress all the same. We finished all the light purple yarn. That's what we got done today. I'm gonna finish up. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm gonna go take some allergy meds. And probably, I mean, maybe we can see if someone's streaming. We'll raid out to them. Let's see. Thanks, James. Yeah, let me see who's streaming. Alright, yeah, I don't see anyone particularly streaming today that is in my community, so already yawning. Alright, I am gonna head out and take it easy. So take it easy, everyone. Have a good one. Take care and do something you love today. Bye-bye. Oh, congratulations! Congrats!